What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a little while ago, I made a video about how I personally do not believe Infinity Ward is going to change anything about their design decisions. Of course, when it comes to management, everybody always says it's impossible for them to ignore us. We complained during 2019, 2022, basically every game that Infinity Ward puts out nowadays is just absolutely bashed into the dirt. There's no way they don't hear our feedback, right? But honestly, like I said, I made a video about this before where I laid out a bunch of points on why I don't think that, they're going to change personally. And some more information has come out a little while ago. Obviously, I postponed it a bit because there was a lot of new information about Modern Warfare 3, and obviously I wanted to prioritize that. But I want to go ahead and discuss this today because I think it is a huge reason to why Infinity Ward does what they do, and why you guys should definitely lower your expectations when it comes to Infinity Ward ever putting out, a classic original banger like the OG Infinity Ward did back in the day. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep, if you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time, and we are grinding up to the 50K mark, so obviously all of your support means the world to me. And last but not least, we do stream pretty much daily over on Kick, and we are going to be multi-streaming this week and this week only, so if you guys do want to check me out on Twitch as well, I will be live on both platforms. You can actually find the link to both of those down in the description of this video. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this. Charlie Intel over on Twitter put up a post saying, PC Gamer Review says Modern Warfare 3 is not fun because Sledgehammer Games took a sledgehammer to the movement that Infinity Ward had in Modern Warfare 2. The reviewer calls slide canceling and faster mantling cheesy techniques. Then you further dive deep into the actual post itself, and it says, I'm less excited about the sledgehammer take to Modern Warfare 2's movement. Infinity Ward made the controversial choice to slow down operators and nerfed common movement techniques in hopes of encouraging more thoughtful, tactical play. I think it worked, but Sledgehammer had the opposite idea. 1 week against the Movement Kings of Modern Warfare 3 has shown how minor changes to mobility can disrupt COD's whole flow. Empowered by quick mantling, slide canceling, and generous mid-air accuracy, my matches are full of players who lean on these cheesy techniques to outplay those who prefer to keep their boots on the ground. Me. The sweatiest corners of Call of Duty's community will tell you these are skillful maneuvers that make Modern Warfare 3 a deeper game. Maybe so, but they also make the action overly twitchy, unpredictable, and obnoxious. Now, for those who have watched me for a while now, you know that when it comes to Modern Warfare 2 2022, I actually didn't mind the movement. I partially agree with the reviewer here, It felt more traditional. Everybody always bashes me about this, but back in the day, you had a B-hop and you had a drop shot. The fact that you could still slide, you can dolphin dive, you can still tack sprint, regular sprint, all of the above made the movement more fast-paced than OG COD, but more in line with what OG COD is like compared to a game like Modern Warfare 2019, Vanguard, Cold War, Modern Warfare 3 like you see here, where the movement is a lot more, I guess as the reviewer describes, twitchier. But I have to say, this is Call of Duty now. As much as people want those OG classic days back, we have tried it and tested it time and time and time again. Do you guys remember with Call of Duty World War II, where they basically made the game like just straight up OG COD, no unlimited sprint, very, not as, I guess, twitchy as more of these current day Call of Duty games, fast paced. The whole community was outright pissed off about this stuff. They had to overhaul the game. And again, I think the overhauled version of the game is better than the previous version. But to me, it just shows that even if we were to go back and bring back this movement, the mass majority of the community won't really care for it. Same thing with Modern Warfare 2 2022, Personally, like I said, I don't mind it because I love OG COD games, so the movement wasn't like bad to me. But the mass majority of people that you see despise the movement in that game. They just simply don't enjoy it. So yes, whether we like it or not, Call of Duty is evolving, it's changing, and it's something that, you either have to be accepting of or you just sadly have to leave the franchise. I try to put tons of tips and tricks videos together for you guys to help you, learn how to counter a lot of these things because honestly, it doesn't take that much effort. Just a little, thought process and a little practice can go a long way in this game, and you never have to do it again, You don't have to become a sweat. You don't have to be very competitive. There's ways to go ahead and counter this stuff. Slide canceling, B-hopping, all of the above. This individual makes it seem like you can't do anything against them. I mean, even back in the day, you could B-hop, you could drop shot, you could still do stuff, and we still had stuff like Marathon and Lightweight Pro and all these different things that allowed us to run faster in certain games or certain things to make you mantle faster. So a lot of the points that he's making in here make absolutely no sense because, the COD flow isn't really that much different. The only difference is that a lot of the maps, yeah, you can mantle on a lot of different, ways that kind of change the flow of these OG maps. But again, they're OG maps that weren't made for it. It's kind of to be expected. I'm more curious to see how the new maps made by Sledgehammer are going to balance out with this movement system here. So I can understand where mantling over pretty much everything in the game could be a bit tedious. But every other take here is just kind of absurd. Especially, if you are an OG fan and you've been playing COD forever, you would know that a lot of these things that this individual's saying here, just, again, like I said, minus the slide canceling, doesn't really make too much sense to me. But the point I'm trying to make here is that this is exactly why Infinity Ward will never change. Everybody really believes that they will, at some point in time, make drastic changes to their, game designs because the community despises it. But whether we like it or not, there are a lot of other individuals who are just like this reviewer, and probably a lot of people agree with this reviewer. And I'm not here to bash you if you do. Again, like I always say, you paid money for this game, you play the way that you want to play, so on and so forth. Not bashing your play style at all. But we have to come to an acceptance that there's a lot of people out there that want COD to be more of a slow, tactical, thoughtful game. And nothing wrong with that style. I love games like that. I play milsims like Squad or Hell Let Loose. I play tac shooters like Rainbow Six Siege or, Valorant, CSGO. I love all different types of FPS games. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to COD, it shouldn't be that way. It's reasons why we have other games out there. And, even tapping back into the OG Infinity Ward mindset, Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, and even Sledgehammer games with Modern Warfare 3, where they kind of did keep the OG Infinity Ward style to it. Infinity Ward was the tactical development team. Whether people like it or not, everybody hates when I say this, but it's true. When you put Infinity Ward games up side by side with a Treyarch game, Treyarch was always more fast-paced, more arcadey. All their gameplay design decisions were made around, trying to get into action and get into gunfights. Where Infinity Ward titles were always a little bit more thoughtful, more power position based, so on and so forth. You get the idea. But it was never as bad as current day Infinity Ward. Current day Infinity Ward has taken that tactical mindset and has pushed it beyond its boundaries. And we're at a point where Call of Duty has tapped into too many marketplaces. Activision, or I guess Microsoft now, knows that they have a whole side of like milsim fans, people who are tac shooter fans, who want slow-paced gameplay, obviously no red dots on the minimap, stuff like that, perks that, aren't too overly complex, I guess, or obnoxious for them, like Dead Silence and Ghost and all these things that, help players maneuver sound whoring and camping and, very slow gameplay. You got the gun nuts who love decking out weapons and having the gunsmith to go to town and make their guns look as cool as possible. You got realism fans who love realistic looks of games, sounds, animations. There's a massive marketplace. Again, whether you want to believe it or not, there is a massive marketplace for people who enjoy that style, and they are now within Call of Duty, And once again, I'm going to say it again, whether you like it or not, that is just how things are going to go. I know people are going to say, well, go back to another game, go back to Rainbow, go back to CSGO, go back to Squad or Hell Let Loose, go back to those games, don't bring it here. But the reality is that they are here. It's as simple as that. And Infinity Ward is indeed the team that's going to cater to those individuals. Once again, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter how much backlash we give them. It doesn't matter how much we crap on their games. They know it's a marketplace out there, people who like games like this, and they're going to be that development team that offers it to them. Now, if Call of Duty wasn't a yearly cycle, we probably wouldn't see stuff like this, because they know that their games have to bang. If their game only comes out every 3-4 years, they have to make sure that it's, something that the whole community is really going to enjoy. But since their games release yearly, and they have multiple different teams working on Call of Duty, they can get away with spending one of those years towards a more tactical, slow-paced style Call of Duty game. And I guess, there's nothing I can say of value to change this, because that is just how the cards have been given to us here. But I guess the best thing that I can leave you guys with is to just know that we will have other titles. Sledgehammer's putting out games that are more Treyarch based. We still have Treyarch putting out their own games. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it turns out to be good. And what Sledgehammer's produced here, is actually extremely fun, minus the skill-based matchmaking. Skill-based matchmaking wasn't so thick. This would probably be a top COD to play. I love the gameplay of this title, but skill-based matchmaking definitely, hinders that by a ton. But this is what we're going to have to do, guys. When Infinity Ward drops games, if you're not in the mood for those tax shooters, you're just going to have to hop back to these games. And honestly, with me, I'm fine with it. I can't forgive Infinity Ward for doing, what they did to their name, because Infinity Ward used to be my favorite team ever. Even Ghost, was still more fast-paced off of the gameplay decisions and the perks and the design decisions compared to what we have current day with Infinity Ward, which is wild because the movement is, again, much faster in both Modern Warfare 2019 and Modern Warfare 2 2022, but the design decisions down to the core are just insanely bad, in my opinion, which hinders them a ton, making them extremely slow. And they are putting such a bad reputation on, the OG games of Modern Warfare, especially for individuals who don't even know about teams switching out and individuals leaving and, what happened to the OG Infinity Ward and how they turned into Respawn. But at the end of the day, we all know what Infinity Ward is going to produce. It's not going to be a shocker. And when it happens, we'll have stuff to fall back on. Hopefully with Treyarch's game. If not with Treyarch, then even this game right here, 2 years down the road, dang well this game is going to be extremely casual, and not many sweats are going to be on it. All the sweats go to the newer COD games. And of course, I'll cover Infinity Ward's new game. We talk about COD on this channel. I'll cover it whether it's good or bad. But I'm saying for everybody else out there, we have to accept what Infinity Ward has become. And we have to stop wishing for them to return to anything, because they aren't. They have a direction that they are going to constantly push for. And I guess we just have to accept that at this point. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. By all means, if you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell if you want to be notified for more content just like this. We post daily here. And also, last but not least, we do stream over on Kick pretty much daily as well. You can find a link to that channel as well as all my other socials down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.